Hello and welcome back to Not Another Watch. This is the third and final review of our Timex Expedition watches. You might remember a couple of months ago we reviewed this one, and this one is the Timex Metal Tech watch. Last time and last month we reviewed this, the Timex Camper. And today we're going to be reviewing this one, which is the Timex Expedition Rugged Metal watch. So I'm not going to talk too much. I'm just going to flip the camera and let's get into this review. So here it is, guys, the Timex Expedition Rugged Metal watch. The reference number for this one is T49946. I believe this model comes from 2014, was manufactured back then. And I don't believe Timex actually make this model anymore. But it can still be found on the second-hand market because I have seen a listing for it that is currently active as I'm filming this video. Let's get some dimensions for you. So if you go from the 8 to the 2, the case diameter is 43.3 millimeters. Going from the 9 to the 3, including the crown, we have a 47.3 millimeter measurement. You have a lug-to-lug measurement of 52 millimeters, a lug width measurement of 20 millimeters. So we all know what that means. It's a strap monster. We can fit any kind of strap on this one. And we have a case thickness of 12.2 millimeters. That's from the back to the top of the crystal. You have a base metal case here, and it looks like it's either coated or treated because it's kind of dark. We zoom in on the dial, you can see the 1 to 12 around the dial. We have the second and minute chapter ring around the rehalt, and we have this textured section of the dial in the middle. We have Timex Expedition under the 12, a date window which is partially framed at the 3 o'clock, and we have Indiglo water resistant, or I can't actually read that, water resistant of 50 meters, of course. We have a stainless steel back, and it's obviously a quartz movement. The Expedition logo with the E and the arrow, the Timex website printed on there. We have a genuine leather strap on this one, which is very soft and yeah, very, very nice. We don't have a signed crown on this one. It's unsigned. But we all know the secrets that this crown has. For those that are not familiar with Timex, as you press this and the Indiglo light comes on, which we will show you in just a moment. The dial is underneath a piece of mineral crystal, and yeah, and if you look at the where the fixed bezel is hatched, it almost looks like a cog. Very, very nice indeed. I mentioned before the watch is discontinued by Timex, this particular model, but you can find it on the second-hand market. I found a British listing of it as filming this video, and it was priced at $49.99 British pounds, which is around 70 US dollars. And that is great value for money from Timex, as we can see. Now, This one is, out of all of the ones we've looked at, the by far the largest case size, which doesn't bother me so much with my 7¼ inch wrist, but I know that this one will be excluded from some people's kind of like minds just because of the size of it. But it is really, really, really nice. It weighs in on this strap at 83 grams, which is not heavy. It's not really, really light. It's somewhere in between. It has got a little bit of heft to it, and that is, you know, something that keeps it, you know, it makes it feel a bit more substantial than some of the other Timex Expedition watches, certainly more substantial than the Camper that we looked at last time. I do like the case finishing on this. I don't know, like I say, I don't know if it's PVD coated, but I do like how dark this metal is. It adds to a certain look and a certain aesthetic, but like I mentioned, the hatch sections on the fixed bezel look a little bit like a cog, very machine-like. And if you look at the sides, I don't know if you can make this out, but how the crown guards come out and are angled, we have like definitive lines here. You know, this brushing is just not just a straight down, it's kind of, you know, it steps down almost till you get to the lug, the tip of the lug, and it kind of creates a continuation of this design on the top. I really, really like it. Really like how Timex have done that. It makes it very unique. And those crown guards do stick out quite a large way, but it's still quite easy to access the crown. So let's put it on my 7¼ inch wrist. Like I say, this is quite a large case size, so it will eliminate this watch from some people's thinking, and it's one of the reasons why my father-in-law didn't wear this very much, is because he's got quite thin wrists, and this one was just a little bit too big for his wrists. But I really like how it fits my wrist. And of course, as I mentioned before, the crown being depressed activates the Indiglow, and that is one of Timex's best features. It's amazing. We do have loomed hands that are slightly skeletonized, but that loom really is not necessary when you talk about and think about that Indiglow light, which is just one of Timex's best features. I know if you've seen the other two videos, I do talk about the Indiglow feature quite a lot and praise it. The design of this one I really, really like. I like how that Reet Hall chapter ring has inverted triangles that, you know, every 15 minutes repeat, and the one at the top is red to match the second hand red tip, and that textured dial is extremely nice. It really catches the light. When you think it's just a plain watch and you view it from a distance, people might think it's just a plain watch, but that really, that textured center piece of the dial really adds to the character of this one. But you know, let's get on to what I like and dislike about this. Now, I had to really think about this one and kind of take myself out of it a little bit, because the size doesn't really bother me. But I think one of the negatives I have to say about this watch, from a general consumer's point of view, would be the case size. Not so much the width, although 43.3 millimeters is quite wide, and especially if you consider the crown being 47.3, that's quite big. But I think what it is, it's the lug to lug measurement on this one being 52 millimeters. This is maximum, you know, it's reaching the edges of my wrist, and is just about okay on my wrist. But yeah, this lug width is very, very large, you know, and will rule out many people's wrists. I know that. And I would also say that the tick on this one, I know it's the Timex tick, the tick on this one seems to be, out of the whole three, the loudest tick. I'm sure you can hear it throughout the review. I apologize. I hope it's not bothering you, but it is pretty loud on this one. But I can't really think of anything else that I don't like about this. I mean, you could criticize it and say, okay, it's an alloy case, or it's a, you know, base metal case, should I say. But at this price point, around $70 US, and with the look that this gives, I don't know if it needs a stainless steel case. Some people that love sapphire crystal might say that mineral crystal over the dial, I'd like a piece of sapphire. But if Timex were going to do something like this on one of these watches, it would be a much more, you know, expensive premium piece. So the ones that I can probably say is just size of it, and the tick is really loud on this one, and probably the loom. The loom's not great, but like kind of gets negated by that indigo light. What I do love about this is so much more. The dial is an absolute stunner. It's so legible, regardless of the fact that there's no AR coating on this one, and I'll try to insert a few outdoor shots to show you, but this dial is so legible no matter what it gets thrown at it. And it's, for me, it's the little attention to details on this dial that I really love. The large numbers make it super easy to read, and just the little details. The skeletonized hands are really nice. The textured dial in the center, as I mentioned before, is really nice, and the little attention to detail with these inverted triangles, and that one at the top at the 12 o'clock that's red, that matches that second hand tip. And this counterbalance is like the arrow, the other side of the arrow of the exhibition, of the expedition logo, which is a really nice piece of detailing there. I love the strap. I think the strap is well, I know it's genuine leather, but it is super soft. It's very supple and nice and comfortable to wear. I think, again, just having the branding, the E on the buckle there, which I didn't show you before, my apologies, and, you know, the dark stitching, it just all really works. And the more you wear this, the more it's going to age and give character to the watch. And of course, the Indiglow feature of this watch is sensational. And being that this is a quartz movement, it's a pick up and go, press on back, push pull crown. It's 50 meters of water resistance. It'll do for generally getting splashed, but I wouldn't go swimming in it. It's just an all-round solid watch, and I really have fallen in love with these three watches. I would highly recommend you check Timex out, and these expedition watches, or any expedition watches really. I think they're great value for money. They, you know, they look the business. They definitely are a great everyday wear, and I'd like to thank my father-in-law once again for gifting these three watches to me for my birthday this year. Not only have I got 3 reviews out of this, we're also going to be doing a head-to-head next time of these 3 watches. We're going to see if I can pick one that is my favorite out of the 3. Now, obviously, you could probably glean from the reviews which way I would lean, but I think it's close, especially between 2 of them. But I'm going to reevaluate these three watches, and I'm going to give them scores in certain categories, and we're going to see which one of them comes out on top. But that is for next month. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you've enjoyed this video and you would like to see more content, give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. It would really mean a lot to me. It's very quick to do. It doesn't cost you a thing, and it really helps the channel to grow. I should mention, of course, that we've surpassed 100 subscribers, which I am absolutely blown away by. Thank you so much for your support. Until next time, guys, live life, love watches, and I will see you in the next video.